In 10 days' time, along with our friends and allies in Plaid Cymru, we'll be announcing our full platform. It is an alternative programme which will stand in contrast to that of Labour and Tory. It will shine like a beacon in the gloom of this Westminster election campaign. Friends, Scotland intends to be heard in this campaign. The country needs champions of that, there is no doubt. National champions working hard for the country, local champions working hard for each and every community across Scotland. Local champions like John Mason, a man who lives and breathes the community that he represents, a man who shook Glasgow Labour to the core when he won the Glasgow East by-election. And friends, if there ever is a party that needs shaking to the core, it's the Labour Party currently in the city of Glasgow. Our local champions here, like John Finney, looking to represent this part of the country. I was speaking to John earlier today, and he was telling me about one of his current campaigns here in Aviemore for a replacement for the Grant House care home. The SNP administration, when running the council, was determined to deliver, something the local Liberals will not now guarantee. Now, I know the people of Aviemore, the people of this constituency, would have no better champion than John, and I wish him every success in his campaign for Grant House and in his campaign to be a champion for this community in Westminster. And friends, one other local champion I want to mention, a young man who I know will be working very closely with his local member of the Scottish Parliament. Richard Thompson is running a great campaign in Gordon on fuel prices. He's asking a very, very simple question of the people. Why does it cost so much more to fill up in Ellen, so close to where the oil is produced, than it does in London? Friends, soaring fuel prices are going to be a big issue in this election. And it's the UK government that has all the questions to answer. With tax hike after tax hike, the motorist's pain is London's gain. At this election, Scotland can send the message loud and clear: enough is enough. When oil prices go up, then fuel taxes should moderate that increase. End the road price fuel rip-off and end it now. So nays on many other issues. The SNP stand ready to speak up for Scotland, to speak up for the communities that we hope to represent. National champions and local champions. Returning politics to what it should be and where it should be. By the people, for the people. No more business as usual. If the people give us the power, then we can achieve much in this election. But that, of course, is not the real answer for Scotland, which is why we'll take forward our plans for a referendum on independence, so that Scots can have their say on their nation's future. A clear majority in this country want our Parliament to have more responsibility, to have the ability to grow our economy, to support those in greatest need, the opportunity to invest in our vast energy wealth and the future success of the nation. And these things, all of these things, are within our reach. The other parties, they're running scared of the voice of the people. But we say the people must be heard. And have no doubt, the people will choose a stronger, fairer, more prosperous Scotland. You know, friends, the unionist parties used to argue that an independent Scotland was too big a risk. Friends, the risk is now Scotland staying within this bankrupt union. That is the risk. Brown has led the United Kingdom into a sea of debt, £1 trillion of debt, and the prospect of a generation of cuts. I know of only one national asset big enough to balance the equation, the £1 trillion of oil and gas left in the North Sea. For Scotland, our share of that asset would be 10 times our share of the UK debt. Friends, a fundamental economic reason why independence offers a better, more secure future for the people of this nation. After 18 years of the Tories, 13 years of Labour, Thatcher, Major, Major, Blair, Blair, Brown, Tweedledum, Tweedledee. Friends, we remember over these years. We remember Labour's feeble 50, who stood by while the Tories imposed the poll tax on Scotland. We remember Labour's lobby fodder, who voted shamefully for a legal war in Iraq. We remember the generation of Labour MPs who went to London to settle down, who remained silent as the gap grew between rich and poor, as inequality in this nation reached levels not seen since the end of the Second World War. 13 years to make a difference, an unlucky 13 for far too many Scots, let down by the Westminster machine. And yes, the people are raging. But friends, it doesn't have to be like this. With MPs who are champions for the people of Scotland, SNP MPs who will be at Westminster to stand up for Scotland, not to stand up for the system, to protect the people, not the perks, not to settle down in London, but to settle up for Scotland. Scottish MPs who will put the nation first, national champions, local champions, MPs worthy of the people's trust.
So Alex Salmond there, finishing his speech with a call to the electorate to vote for the SNP, kick-starting the general election campaign for the Nationalists, and saying that, of course, he says we can win 20 seats, and claimed that more Scots would turn to the SNP in the general election than ever before. He talked of Labour and Tory cuts, which he said would choke off recovery and threaten the jobs in Scotland, but called it a phony war between the other two parties, criticising them for the withdrawal of the fiscal stimulus this year as the wrong choice, and saying that Scotland would pay the price for Labour's cuts. He announced a new £12 million fund for marine development of renewables, which Mr Salmond said would create jobs and wealth in Scotland. He also announced £15 million extra for 4,000 additional college places. And Mr Salmond, who's being clapped off the stage now, said the SNP would work with the Welsh Nationalists to secure key concessions in a hung parliament if that was to happen after the general election. So Mr Salmond still being applauded by his party there, but that is his final speech to the SNP before the general election is announced by Gordon Brown, probably, we understand, for May the 6th. Glenn, that's back to you.